Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 1. I am not in Paris, I am at home. I have not been particularly well for the last week and a half, so thank you all for your patience. As you can tell, it ain't it ain't fucking normal. Um, so, The Mandalorian season 3, it's been 2 years since The Mandalorian. In between, we've had, Jesus Christ, we've had the Book of Boba Fett, we've had Obi-Wan, we've had Andor, and 2 out of 3 of those shows were really bad. Um, just gonna say that. But yeah, we're back. We're back where it all started. We're back with The Mandalorian. Grogu has returned after a brief stint with Luke Skywalker that we saw in the Book of Boba Fett. So I do hope you watch the Book of Boba Fett. Otherwise, you'll have no fucking idea how Grogu has come back to Din Djarin. But that's another discussion, I suppose. But yeah, so they're back together. And we start off this series, this premiere episode, is like a blitzkrieg to the senses. Immediately, we are greeted with the armorer constructing some armor, as she's off to do, and she presents some armor in amongst a good sized squadron of Mandalorians to a youngling, a foundling, I believe, and it's all very nice. It's all very well presented. It's a lovely looking helmet. And this youngster with long flowing hair is presented with this helmet at the start of this episode, and they put the helmet on, and it makes a sizzling connecting noise, like we've heard when Vader puts his helmet on, as though it's connecting and sealed, but his hair's still dangling out. Minor gripe. Uh, it just made me laugh. Like it makes a as though it's sealed, like an astronaut's helmet, but yet his hair is still sticking out over his shoulders. I mean, there's nothing sealed there. It's not hermetically sealed at all. But all right, I'll let you have it. And then they're fucking attacked by this massive turtle crocodile thing out of fucking nowhere. Um, Madness, absolute madness ensues. I don't know what's going on. It's hilarious. But it's a cool little action sequence. I mean, it's messy. It's a cool little action sequence, but it is entirely messy. We see the Mandalorians flapping left, right, and center to try and take down this creature, and you can't help but think, well, why are you doing a ceremony next to a lake where you must know this creature resides? What are you doing? Um, but yeah, it's fucking madness. A couple of them get eaten, a couple of them get crushed. I think I don't really know. It all happens very quickly. It's all shot erratically, and they're using every armament they've got. Machine gun John Favreau's there, the big guy with the Paz Vizsla, he's there with a big fucking machine gun. He's blasting away. It's doing nothing. They fly up in the air. They drop grenades. It's doing nothing. They use grappling hooks. Laughably, what are you going to do against a 14-ton creature from the sea? I don't fucking know with your grappling hooks, but it's hilarious anyway. It's chaotic. They all get death rolled. You can see it coming a mile away. They all grapple on to this giant turtle crocodile thing, and it death rolls them, and they all go flying. And it it's good fun, and as you would expect, who turns up? Mando in his Naboo starfighter, which is a cracking ship. Love the ship. I miss the Razor Crest, but the Naboo starfighter rework is beautiful. It's like the DeLorean of Star Wars. It's been added the mod cons. It's got every armament you can possibly want. It's now the bee's knees, and Biff Tannen's going to steal it. You can tell. Yeah, he comes in, saves the day, like photon torpedo or whatever is that Star Trek. I don't know. And yeah, it dies. It's killed. But then the armor is like, "Cheers for your help, mate, but you're still not a Mandalorian, so off you go." And Din Djarin's like, "Well, I'm gonna go to this underwater cave on Mandalore," and she's like, "Nah, you idiot! It's all poisoned. You'll never get there." But he's like, "I'm gonna do it because I need to get my honor back." It's very much, you can taste, the Japanese lore. You can taste the Japanese like fallen samurai ronin kind of textures within this. And he goes off to go and complete this quest, this personal quest of redemption. And on his way, he randomly goes back to see Grief Karga, and he's like, "I need IG8. I need IG11 rather. IG8. That's the one from Empire Strikes Back." He's like, "I need IG. I need him back," and he's just a statue at this point. So it's all right, whatever. That goes to shit. They reboot him and he tries to kill Grogu. He reverts back to his previous programming, so you're like, okay, bit of a pointless endeavor. And then we see, the same creatures. Was it the same creature from The Rise of Skywalker? They go, hey, the droid worker guy. Was it the same creature? Was it the same character, rather? I know it was the same creature. There's like 4 of them in there. They're all trying to rebuild IG11. They're like, yeah, come back when you've got this thing. And he's like, yeah, cool, another quest, side quest, cool. It's like Skyrim, only in space. Fetch quest. So yeah, he goes off again. But some pirates come first off. Apologies. And they're like, we just want to have a beer. And Grief Karga's like, nah, it's a schoolmate. And for some reason, they're really insistent. We want to have a beer here. And he's like, no, it's a school, you idiot. There's kids in there learning maths. What's your issue? And this pirate, draws down on him, and, his pirate friends get killed, and he buggers off. And it's all happening very frenetically. I'm not quite sure where it all comes from. And yeah, Mando leaves, and after Grief Karga says, "Hey, do you want a piece of land here? You can grow old with the kid and relax and whatever." And he's like, "Nah, I've got to go and do this quest." And Grief Karga's like, "All right, fair enough." So yeah, Mando leaves, and when he's leaving for an asteroid field, he's attacked by these pirates again, and this big fucking ship, and Swamp Thing's on this big fucking ship. And Swamp Thing's like, Mando, you attacked my pirates, even though these pirates are being completely unfucking reasonable. And really should have known that Grief Karga had gone straight at this point. I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious, isn't it? But yeah, Swamp Thing's like, I'm taking you in, Mando, and he's like, nah, and leaves. And the pirate goes, oh, Doe, I missed him. And that's that. Great space battle, though. We don't get enough space battles. In Star Wars at the minute. We need more space battles. I'm thinking Return of the Jedi, quality space battles. We need more. But yeah, so everything's moving really fucking quick in this episode, and you don't really get time to adjust. Before we know it, Mando's arrived at some secondary planet where there's a Mandalorian castle, and you're like, cool, love the architecture. And Bo-Katan's just sat in there on her own, on a throne, chilling. Again, all right, what we doing here? And she goes, have you still got the Darksaber? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, right, cool. Everybody left me. I don't have any friends. So, yeah, off you go. It's very, very, very weird scene. He's gone all that way just to basically go, I'm going to Mandalore to try and, do this quest. And she's like, yeah, all right, good luck. Says bye in a really weird way. That hints that she's going to be the antagonist for this season, which doesn't fit. For me, it doesn't make any sense. But alas, he goes off, and yeah, the episode kind of just runs its way towards an end, really. It's an episode which I think is more of like a, hey, remember these characters were in this series 2 years ago, and we need to show where they are now so that we can, come back to them at a later date. It is almost that kind of episode in place of, meaningful plot. We get the general sense of what he wants to do. He wants to go and reclaim his honor, which is fine. It's a very noble thing, and it's something that, it'd be interesting to see. I want to see Mandalore. I want to see the devastation that was wrought on Mandalore. Has it been reborn in some way, and just nobody knows about it because they're frightened of going back? That's intriguing. That's what I want to see. I want to see whether there is hope for Mandalore. Can people go back to that planet? Are they just frightened by the burdens of the past? Are they frightened by, Bo-Katan references these these segments of their own civilization. Their people are broken up into different segments. Are they all frightened? Are the Mandalorians as a civilization frightened of being able to come back together and rekindle the wealth and glory of Mandalore? That's interesting. That's what I'm hoping to see more. Flittering around between different characters just to put them in place like chess pieces. I'm not sure we really needed that at this point in the series. What we needed was, it's the premiere episode, and I think what we needed to see was, a bit of forward thrust. What are we going to do with Grogu? What are we going to do with Mando himself? Grogu just seems to be like a pet at this point in this episode in particular. Nobody knows what to do with him. Even Grief Karga's like, you've still got the kid? All right. It's a bit bizarre, and I think that's a product of Book of Boba Fett just keeping him in play. It's a shame. It's an interesting episode, and I'm going to settle on a 6 out of 10 for it, because I think there's at this point, I want to see more forward thrust. Hopefully we will do. But yeah, everyone's put in place, not much really happens, and yet a lot does happen. It's a strange one. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of flashing and, sounds and whatever, but not much else. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for that. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.